We are back to the land of dawn.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the technical pause has ensued, and we are going back into the game, into the land of dawn, and we're back to okay. I thought we were actually in minute number 13, but it was a visual bug. 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. That's the amount of time that has elapsed so far. And you were talking about the Sky Piercer, so maybe we'll get to see some of these heroes pick it up and see how it will affect in the data and in the statistics. But right now, we do see that both teams going to be centering around the next neutral objective. Kai is level 4 right now. Doesn't have her ultimate though, as well as the Paquito.
Oh, there you go. That's a retribution steal from Calcutta, but now she might pay the price for it. The fight breaks out, but the penalty zone of the 3 members shatters the formation from Myanmar. And look at the kiting coming in from Vietnam. Moving back, but now chasing down with the hard guard available. That's 1, that's 2, but the dash gets blocked. It won't even matter though. Calcutta securing 1 kill along with Shieru. That is Vietnam with an all-out win out of nowhere, man. An explosion of action.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected this, right? A 2-0 trade, make it a 3-0 trade with a beautiful steal from the Paquito, from Calcutta. And it looks like she's going to be able to grab a little bit more. That's a orange buff steal away from Kai, and she's being completely shut down here in the 3rd minute of the game.
That is unfortunate, man. Being a Baksha that in theory should be clearing faster, rotating around faster, that whole sequence of events just allows Calcutta to just come in, you know, just drive-by steal away that orange buff. And that's what we're talking about. The burst potential from the Paquito is good for getting kills, but it's also great for going for those steals. And look at Ku, still level 3 at this point, not really having an opportunity, finally reaching level 4. Myanmar are definitely on the back foot though. They gotta just wait around unless they want to go for a big play here. Sa on the Kagura has escape mechanisms. Seems like everything will be fine and dandy for Vietnam.
Yeah, right now, it looks like Sa is actually in a 2v1 situation, but she's still so confident to go in for the clear despite, you know, Luna Lynx utilizing this Valentina with the IMU and the penalty zone. But look at this!
Ooh, that's gonna be an insane jump in, but the hard guard won't be enough. It wasn't even channeled properly for Shieru, where Calcutta gets taken out. Great rotation from Myanmar, and they're going even further to the mid lane, immediately rotating straight for the turtle. But Vietnam will be available to try and contest that.
Both these teams are putting up a fight, right? Because initially in the first 2 minutes of the game, it felt like Vietnam held a bit more control, but Myanmar definitely fighting back. Paquito is back into the land of dawn, but I don't think he's actually going to go for the contest. They might look for the mirror play instead in the bottom lane, and this is going to be a free turtle here over for Myanmar to take. And we were talking about Sky Piercer. Looks like the Paquito has picked up Sky Piercer.
Was it the Paquito or the Kagura? I thought it was the Kagura. First item though, which is why I was quite shocked. But on the bottom side, we saw Vietnam group around to try and go for a gank. But now Myanmar, after getting that turtle, are the ones with a bit more control here. If you're looking at the level advantage for the jungle, K has now caught up to Calcutta. So now it's a bit more of an equal situation here, and it's back to that slow, calculative gameplay.
Technically, right? Technically, in this mid lane, the Kufra and the Valentina, they're a heavy duo, right? A lot of CC, a lot of base damage as well. The Kufra also has really great clear, but for some reason, the Kagura is still winning it out, but...
Okay, comes in, jumping onto Shieru, but it's only one person going in. Ku was just waiting in the wings to try and help out on the engage. Vietnam fought back, but it won't be happening just yet. And look at the cutting being done by Daisy, though. They're setting up for some kind of roam.
Looks like it. Oh!
Oh, hard guard comes in to save Sa from the Spear of Destruction, but it's countered! That's gonna be Calcutta picking up a kill once more going in, but here comes the counter engage back from Myanmar. Luna Lynx coming in, doing some damage, but it'll be K picking up the kill first. The Pillane coming in with the X-Borg, just flaming everyone down. Daisy will be the next victim as the Lance Sanity comes in, diving under the turret, but Sa will be able to survive. Myanmar with a great response.
Ooh, 2-0 trade after that Spear of Misery that hit onto the Kagura, onto Sa. You would immediately assume, okay, that's a -1 Kagura. She's definitely gonna go down, but The Heart Guard came into clutch, and afterwards they were able to, kind of go for a back and forth team fight really, really well. But for now, 6 minutes in, Myanmar still hold a little bit of that gold lead, as it looks like they're going to start down on the neutral objective. A little bit of a bait here from Dinner, from the Claude, to have a little bit of a taste as to where the whereabouts of the rest of the team. But look at the damage coming through. What?
Sound making a ugly attempt there, even with the flame shot, it doesn't connect though. And on the other side, whoa, that's gonna be a retribution steal by Kureka again. Last Insanity doesn't really amount to anything. And now look at the back and forth as always for Vietnam. Myanmar won't oblige though. They lost the turtle, but they were able to get a tower on the top side. So that macro play from them, continuing now, raising a bit from Dinner to try and clear the wave, deter the members of Myanmar from going for the turret, and they will be able to do so.
What is this trade, right? I mean, Vietnam, they've been really great at these team fights, but Myanmar are so quick on their feet in terms of that macro play, right? The fact that they've been able to get a turret under the nose of Vietnam for free in the top lane does propel them a little bit forward. And Chikoshi on the Moskov already with the DHS. That should be the third item. We'll get a little bit more information later on, but it looks like the Kufra is charging. Do they really want to go for this? They can, but bottom lane,
on the other side, that's going to be playing, just taking a lot of damage, a lot of pressure. But look at the rotations, man. Myanmar now, having the Kufra just always standing by in the mid lane, allows them to just have the prio. And Kureka is alone on the bottom side here, but I think a dive will be a bit too risky.
DHS now picked up for Dinner. So it is getting to that power spike, hopefully for the club. But wait. That's a Immortal popped.
Flying, still surviving though, but now Kureka 1v2, but keep in mind the Heart Guard is available. Tyrant's Rage, Tyrant's Revenge, potentially, that's gonna be a stun. Kureka with Last Insanity as well. Shieru forced to flicker out. Esa looks for a chance to try and turn it back around. Flame shot though lands. Now very low, getting chunked down, going back for the outplay, but it won't be enough. But Daisy swings the hammer down. There'll be one picked up. Ku flickering out after the great engage as Shieru chases down, trying to get K, but under the turret. Is this dive a bit too risky? It won't amount to a kill, unfortunately. But Vietnam trading evenly, although they lost their jungler in the process.
Yeah, 2-for-2 trade, and they lost Lang as well, right? So I get it, right? But at the moment, there's not much neutral objective contests that are happening at the moment. So it does look they are gonna fall back down to the default. With this, both of these teams should be focusing on this Lord, the first Lord of the game here. Team X at the moment, Kao Kutka on the Paquito is already at level 11, and both these junglers actually on a very similar path, but it looks like the Claude has only 2 items, Corrosion Scythe and the DHS. But it looks like the Heart Guard has been popped up here in the mid lane.
This is for Dinner. Another penalty zone lands on K. Only one person though, countered by Luna Nexa's own penalty zone. The Last Insanity burns down Sa. She'll be taken out immediately as Daisy is too low to help out the team. That's a 4v4, 5v4 actually, and Myanmar gets the advantage. For Vietnam, they sent Kureka to the bottom side. She won't be anywhere close to try and go for the contest here as Myanmar goes for the Lord immediately. Dinner waiting in the wings, but it will be a free Lord for Myanmar.
Ooh, beautiful collapse from Myanmar, and beautiful execution as well. And it looks like they're going to utilize that momentum to bring it to the mid side turret. They're going to take it for themselves that Chikoshi on the Moskov has picked up the golden staff. So the Moskov should be ready for these team fights. I mean, earlier on, we did see a little bit of a trade back in now from Dinner to pick up that tower in the top side, but as a general whole, with how much damage the Moskov is already doing, with the fact that the Moskov has already reached his power spike, he should be able to burst through these turrets rather quickly.
It's just a great play from Myanmar to always have Chikoshi in the right place at the right time whenever the neutral objective is showing out. Now they're making a play on the bot side. They're trying to make sure that they pull away Vietnam to the bottom side. They go for the turret. They get penalty zone, but it won't even matter. Daisy pushed away, denied. Tyrant's Rage though, coming in from Ku, bit too ambitious as the team isn't really ready to follow up on it. They back away. They know they can play it slow. With the Lord pushing, they get a turret on the top side with Halaying assisting the Lord.
Ooh, and now it looks like they're gonna go in for the siege. That Lord is in the top side and it is pushing. Myanmar understand they want to close this out as soon as possible if they want to make it to Riyadh, but it looks like some damage has been put through. Look at that!
The Yin Yang overturn, he gets traded back Sa, but Chikoshi is no longer in the picture. Now Vietnam has a gold lane advantage, DPS advantage. They can go for a fight if they want to, but Myanmar, they go straight for the purple. They lost the gold lane, but they still feel like they have enough damage. They're going to make a final play for the turret, and they will be able to do so. But that is the damage potential from the Kogura we were talking about. Sky Piercer onto the Holy Crystal immediately allows you to do just that.
So that's where the damage is coming from, right? We were talking about perhaps we'll be seeing the Wishing Lantern, but of course, we don't get to see that right now. Like you mentioned, right? Holy Crystal and the Sky Piercer. So that's where the base damage is coming from. She should be going for, what do you think is next? Glowing Wand? Did she go for the Blood Wings instead? It's very interesting to say. Wait a second, look at that.
Overton dodged away. Luna laying so low, but still alive. The flame shot secures it though. And look at Ku in the backline, zoning everyone away. But everyone coming in. The hard guard just allowing Dinner to stay in the front, but it might be too much than she can handle. It's going to be the last Insanity zoning her away as Vietnam back up. But they find Chikoshi in the midst of the chaos. Kakude now seeing an opportunity, going for her lane.
Oh, no.
And that is going to be the Angela slows, allowing Vietnam to go. But look at Sa, just all the way in the back, going for another play, going to try and secure for her lane.
What?
Now the Sky Piercer, securing one, securing two. Her lane now with the Immortal, back at it for one final time. With the last Insanity, it still won't be enough. She will eventually fall. Double kill for Sa. Vietnam
No
striking
way.
back right as the Lord spawns.
What is that, Arashi? What did we just witness? That should have been a kill over onto the Kogura, the way that she was positioned, but she completely outplayed that with the help of the hard guard from Shieru. But that was so insane. We have to see that play again. You can see that damage coming through the Sky Piercer earlier on, and there it is, 9,999 damage. A double kill being brought in by the Kogura, but that was insane, and it looks like off camera, K is gonna fall to the damage of the Kogura once again. Sa now at a 734 KDA and on Flame Shot to boot.
Man, Kay tried to go for the steal there, a valiant attempt, knowing that there is a level equivalency between her and Kao Kudeka. But unfortunately, against all the fight, against the damage from the Pakira that allows her to really secure that Lord, it won't be enough. And off the back of an insane play from Sa, like you mentioned, Eterna, the jukes, the mind games there. You blink and you miss it, she just shows up in the back. And now with the Lord available, let's see how they play this out. They're managing the waves, possibly going for a 3-wave push.
That's what that's what great Koguras can do, right? Catch you off guard, and at some point suddenly you're like, oh wait, what? How did I die? And it turns out it's because of the assassinations coming in from the Kogura. I mean, good Kogura players, they play it like assassins. Look, she's waiting in the bush right now, looking for that proper opportunity to go in for the Yin Yang overturn. Ku does spot her and will deny in that surprise element, but for the most part, that kill pressure is still definitely there.
Parents rage onto Dinner, but that baits out the hard guard though. It's already used up, but the turret will not fall. Vietnam will rotate to the bottom side here to finally get one of the turrets they were looking for. They want to ideally get all of it. Like, look at Daisy just walking in the front, knowing that there is no way they commit onto her. But the whole team back up, healing. That will be, once again, a bit of a standoff, but Ku, does she smell a play? Walks into Kao Kureka, though, takes a chunk of burst damage. Yin Yang overturn as well, it does not land. And now we're back to the waiting game. And Myanmar were able to actually hang on to that middle turret. But Sa, like you mentioned, it turned out the poking, the zoning, and also the vision control with the umbrellas is just lending itself to just so much information, so much utility for Vietnam.
Huge value, and now she's already picked up the Divine Glaive. So we were talking about her next item after the Holy Crystal and the Sky Piercer, and it turns out Divine Glaive was her next option. So even if Myanmar want to go for the itemization to kind of counter the burst magic damage coming from her, she already has the magic penetration to counter it back. So it definitely is going to lend itself as a big problem for Myanmar to kind of take away in these particular team fights, considering they haven't been able to take her down, especially after she's reached in that power spike, right? It looks like Ku is charging, gonna open up the map, but they have to understand that Luna Lynx, also with the Divine Glaive, by the way, has not found the exact same impact that Sa has been able to find on this Kogura.
She's been trying to match the penalty zone technically to try and serve as some utility for her team. But look at the maneuvers here. Kurika already on the far side of the map. That there's a chance that Myanmar can take this opportunity to go for a fight. But they are the ones with the positional advantage. Daisy now burned low. Halang definitely looking for an advantage, looking for an opportunity. But with the hard guard available, it never is that simple.
It never is. Always a miscalculation. Every time you think it's a 1v1, she comes along and makes it a 2v1. And both of these teams are now going to be focusing onto the Lord. Kai at level 15, but so is... Oh, wait a second.
Kurika just bursted down, immediately taken out. Penalty zone to try and follow up, try and save the fight. That'll be a kill picked up by Sa, but it won't be enough. That's a shutdown picked up by Halang as Daisy might be next. But no, they're backing away. They are aware of the hard guard, the healing potential. And that will be it. Myanmar take the 2 kills out of nowhere. What a misstep from Kurika there to just take the initial engage.
I was talking about the EXP gap between both of these junglers, but it doesn't even matter if one of the junglers aren't even present, right? 100 to 0% chance, just like that, as we take a look at the instant replay coming through. Initially, it was a great moment for them to capitalize over into the burst, but as soon as all their resources were taken out, that DPS from the Moskov did become a problem in that team fight for Myanmar to eventually capitalize over. And you can see he's actually itemized rather well, right? Instead of going for the Athena shield, Chikoshi went in for the Rose Gold Meteor instead to try and counter in that burst damage coming in from Sa. So there's layers of respect, but there's also layers of damage to the Moskov's kit at the moment.
Can't ignore the damage coming in from Dinner though. Definitely already on the Malefic Roar, able to shred down the frontliners. But with the Lord, that's the main problem here. Myanmar now making their move, going for the mid turret as the bottom wave is already pushing out. That will be the first turret secured for them. And this might spy a chance to go for Kurika. Penalty zone from Luna Lynx, followed up by K. That will be Kurika taken out already. Ku goes for a chance to go on Sa, but the unit overturns.
What?
The burst damage comes through. Ku barely surviving from there, but Dinner now sees a chance, going with the Blazing Duet, taking Luna Lynx down, but the Immortal is there. Ku coming in to try and save her teammate, but it won't be enough. Even with Halang with the last insanity, that won't be enough as Sa goes back and forth. The base completely neglected, but Vietnam winning out a fight there despite starting off losing their jungler.
How insane is this Kagura? I think we were questioning the Kagura pick a little bit because we don't see the Kagura pick quite often. We thought it was an experimental pick, but it must be a power pick with the way that Sa has been utilizing this Kagura, right? Time and time again, able to find the proper setup, the proper initiation to pull in that Yin Yang overturn and combo it in with the damage, with the displacement, with the CC, and she is shredding through Myanmar right now. 10-4-4 KDA with the additional of that Winter Crown as well as the Blood Wings. So that's just it, right? She has a little bit more versatility in her kit with the defense coming through, with the shielding coming through from the Blood Wings, but she also has a Winter Crown to try and go for the outplays that she's been able to go for, but looks like Daisy's gonna be caught out.
Grace has revenge, but K does not make it over the wall. Penalty zone from Luna Lynx right here to try and seal the deal, but the hard guard comes through. Daisy trying to survive for her life, but Shieru will be the only one left right here. Daisy flickers out though, DPZ away, but the chase potential. The Ice Queen's one from Halang slowing everyone down, but she is but alone right here. Kurika waiting in the wings to try and deny, but there won't be any deaths taken up. As for Vietnam, they allow Dinner to push up on the other side of the map. 15 minutes until the Lord spawns.
That's something that both of these teams really need to start to prioritize, right? Sure, it's easy to kind of tunnel vision on these team fights, especially when you're in the middle of it or when it's forced onto you. But wave clear, housekeeping is going to be very important because technically for Vietnam, right, they have 2 lane pushers. They have 2 split pushers. They have the Paquito. They also have the Claude. And these 2 heroes will be very difficult to go against when they go in for the Lord Dance, which is exactly what both of these regions or both of these teams are going for right now as we're entering the 20th minute of the game. One of the longest games that I've casted so far, and it has to be between both of these because they do know the stakes, they do know the value, the risk that they're going for if they lose this game number 1 in this best of 3.
Both just playing it slow, waiting for one of them to make a blunder. for Myanmar, the fact that Ku is on the Kufra definitely is an advantage. But look at the wave on the bottom side. It's relatively equal and it's meeting on the side of Myanmar. That usually means that the wave will eventually start pushing towards the side of Vietnam because the backup waves arrive first, as we're seeing right here. This could be a default push that Myanmar can use to try and force Vietnam to deal with it and go for a fight with a man advantage. For now, though, it's still gonna be slow, waiting around, just looking for opportunities. And the Lord Dance, you have to remember, it's not as easily done as before. Tyrant's Rage, though, comes in, lands on Daisy, but that's a tanky Terizla with the body of Smith. They won't commit onto that immediately, and it's back to the waiting game.
Because I think Myanmar understand, right? Even if they want to go for a 50-50 on the Retribution, Kao has been doing so good on her Retribution, right? There are so many times when she just comes in the last minute after the setup made by Myanmar and is able to out-retry the Baxi, out-retry Kai. So they're looking for opportunities as much as possible to go in for the kill, get a man advantage before they commit onto the Lord. But this is a scary, scary far lane. You can see Sa is there, anticipating the fact that Chikoshi will be clearing it out. And Burst versus DPS, but wait a second.
As Daisy jumped on penalty zone as well. That'll be the Teresa taken out immediately. Sa is just too far to participate. Now without the main frontliner, Vietnam, you're gonna be forced to let go of this Lord unless Kao is looking for a chance to try and do something here. The Lord is doing a lot of damage, but Kao gets knocked out. Tyrant's Rage, Tyrant's Revenge. She's stunned. She's gonna be taken out, bursted down. The Immortal though will buy a bit more time, but the last insanity. The death of the Jakao comes in, but the hard guard, blazing duet combo. This is Vietnam's last ditch effort, but it won't be enough. They're pushed back, and Sa will be the last one flying away. That'll be the HP bars from Myanmar, ever so low, but it won't be enough for Vietnam to make a difference. They might go for the Lord right here, but no, they want to try and play it safe. Even though the wave is pushing, they're gonna wait a bit longer to try and go for the Lord when they are at full force.
It was a valiant effort by Vietnam. They already lost Daisy, but they still want to go in for a risky, a 50-50 play, as it didn't really amount to much in the end. Despite Myanmar not going and capitalizing over the Lord straight away, they eventually do and are going to be able to blitz it in this 23rd minute.
Ooh.
But cool, that is very aggressive. You have the Lord. You might want to wait for it before you go in for the kill, because if they get taken out one by one before they go in for the siege, then it could render this Lord useless. They have to be careful with their setup.
Myanmar now just waiting for the Lord to push up. They don't really have the best of sieges technically, and they have to be careful. If they group around again for Sa to go for a big yin-yang overturn, that could be a big problem. But delaying now, just burning everyone down, going for the slows. K just running straight for the crystal though. What is going on right there? Sa taken down, super low. Penalty zone from Luna Lynx will seal the deal though with no hard guard available. That'll be Myanmar immediately blitzing the crystal with no time at all.